Hey everyone, Chris Bayless here from the Sponsorship Collective. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the biggest lessons learned after having worked with over 1,000 clients who have literally sold tens of millions of dollars in sponsorship. Check it out. All right, let me walk you through some of the biggest insights that our clients have reported to us as they progress through their sponsorship journey. The very best sponsorship properties practice BAM FAM. What does BAM FAM mean? It means book a meeting from a meeting. The very best and most successful sponsorship properties never chase. They have a discovery meeting. That discovery meeting might result in the request for a proposal. And so the very best properties say, absolutely, I would love to put together a proposal for you. What date and time would you like to meet to go over the draft proposal in detail? Tired of being ghosted by sponsors after you have what you think is a great meeting? That's because you're not practicing BAM FAM. The very best properties always, always, always book a meeting from a meeting. All of the most successful properties that we've worked with have an abundance of audience data. Audience data is not easy to get, but it's incredibly valuable and incredibly important. 25 plus data points per property about your audience is what you need in order to have the right amount of audience data to be successful in sponsorship. I think your audience is everybody or families or people who care about the thing that we do. This is not audience data, and it will not help you close sponsorship. The very best properties have 25 plus data points per property about their audience. The most successful properties that we've worked with care most about audience experience. Audience experience is their number one priority, even more than getting money from sponsors. Putting logos on signs in front of your audience and forcing them to sit through speeches is a great way to irritate your audience. But instead, you want to build amazing experiences for your audience, and then you bring in sponsors to pay for it and also to generate profit at your property. If the audience doesn't win from a sponsorship agreement, the very best properties don't do it. Just about every sponsorship property that I know says we're different. And what they mean by we're different is, I don't know why this isn't working. Therefore, we must be different. And then they go on to explain that what makes them different happens to be exactly the same problem every other sponsorship property struggles with. We don't know our audience. We can't get in front of the right people. We're not sure what to charge. We don't know what our sales material should look like. This is a first-time event. This is a multi-year event, but it's changing. We're virtual. Now we're back live. Everybody has the exact same 7 problems. But the most successful properties recognize that it doesn't matter what their challenges are. What matters is what the sponsor wants. So if you stay focused on the idea that you're different and assume that sponsors have to accommodate you, you won't be successful. The very best properties acknowledge that they have to change in order to accommodate the sponsors and understand that they're learning a discipline. Being different is not good. Have you ever heard someone say, or maybe you've said it yourself, well, we don't call it sponsorship. We call it partnership because we do it differently. We want to partner with our potential sponsors. Well, the most successful properties don't do that. They don't use the word partnership to replace sponsorship. Partnership doesn't mean what you think it means in a business context. In fact, the word sponsorship or the word partnership doesn't really mean anything to a potential brand. Sponsors want access to your audience. They don't want sponsorship. They don't want partnership. They want customers. So when you change the word sponsorship to partnership and you think that conveys meaning to the brands, it doesn't. And the very best properties treat the word partnership like a 4-letter word. Our most successful clients never, ever, under any circumstance, send a proposal before a meeting. I mean, if you haven't met with the sponsor, how could you possibly propose anything? Really, what you're doing is just making up what you wish they would like and sending them a package, hoping they'll buy. Well, the most successful sponsorship properties know that sending a proposal won't get anyone to buy. Meeting first, then proposal if it's invited. The very best properties know that if something doesn't work for 100 sponsors, in other words, if you send out a proposal and get no response after sending it to 100 companies, sending it to 1,000 will also lead to no responses. Or put another way, scaling mediocrity only leads to bigger piles of mediocrity. If something doesn't work at a smaller scale, you don't scale that up. You figure out why it's not working. And then once you've solved the problem at a small sample, then you pour gas on the fire and scale it to the moon. But if you try to scale something that isn't working, like sending sponsorship packages to companies who then ignore you, doing that to 50 companies equals 0 responses. Well, that's a 0% response rate. If you send it to 10,000 companies times 0%, you're not going to hear back from anybody. The most successful properties figure out what works first, and then they scale. The least successful properties spend all their time thinking, what if a sponsor asks this? What if a sponsor asks that? What if I'm in a sales meeting and they tell me this, or they ask me for that, or they ask me to prove what my value is, et cetera, et cetera. Getting stuck in hypotheticals means that you're suffering from fear of the sales conversation. Everyone is afraid of sales conversations. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be uncomfortable. But what you want to avoid is setting up hypothetical what ifs to prevent you from talking to sponsors. Our most successful clients acknowledge the fear, acknowledge the natural inclination to get lost in hypotheticals, and they go and do discovery anyway. The most successful properties are not afraid to fail. In fact, failure is required. Thomas Watson Jr. If you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate. Or put another way, the person who fails the most wins, according to Seth Godin. The most successful clients that we work with acknowledge that failure is part of the process. They're not afraid to fail. In fact, they embrace it. Sometimes we win, sometimes we learn. But we have to be taking risks every single day if we want to be successful in business. The most successful properties that we've worked with don't waste their time on things that don't work. According to Peter Drucker, there's nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. Think of all the time you've wasted trying to create a sponsorship package, design, writing and rewriting, having conversations by committee, weeks, months and months coming up with a sponsorship package and then sending it out to companies who immediately delete your email. You have become incredibly efficient at a process that should not be done at all. I don't know who said this one. Show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. Our most successful clients, the most successful properties we work with, schedule time every single day for prospect research, for cold calls. Yes, I said it, cold calls. It's part of sales. Everybody hates doing it. I hate doing it. But when I'm selling sponsorship, I do it anyway because it's required. Every single day, they schedule time for prospect research, prospect outreach, cold calls, discovery, and follow-up. If it's not in your calendar, it's not going to happen. The most successful clients that we've worked with have given up on the idea that there's a knight in shining armor or a silver bullet that's going to solve all of their problems. A lot of people make the claim, if only I'm in front of the right person, if only I could connect with the decision maker, then I know I'll make the sale. This is silver bullet thinking, and it's completely incorrect. The only people who think all they need to do is get in front of decision makers are people who have never been in front of decision makers. Because once you get in front of the decision maker, they tell you all of the things that are missing from your sponsorship opportunity. Looking for the Hail Mary pass, the silver bullet, the knight in shining armor is not going to lead to success, and our most successful clients have given up on this idea. The most successful clients that we work with have given up on this idea that you can just outsource your sponsorship program to somebody else. Look, I get it. Wouldn't it be wonderful if someone just had a Rolodex full of the chief marketing officers of all the businesses in all the world? They don't. This does not exist. No one has all the contacts. No one can just open doors for you. The fact is, nobody cares more about your opportunity than you. You should be selling your sponsorship opportunity. You don't want to outsource the most important source of revenue for your business, period. Sponsors do not want to work with amateurs. They want to work with professionals. A brand is giving you money as a marketing investment. They want a return on investment, a return on ad spend. The most successful clients that we've worked with treat sponsorship like a profession. Does that mean that they work in sponsorship 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year? Absolutely not. But approaching something like a profession rather than a hobby leads to success. Approaching something like a hobby rather than a profession leads to not getting any sponsorship revenue. So whether sponsorship is your full-time job or you're trying to get sponsorship revenue for a side hustle, you have to treat it like a profession because the people you want money from are. So what's your biggest takeaway? What's the thing that stands out the most to you that you can change right now to be more successful in your sponsorship program? What have you learned from 1,000+ clients that we've worked with that could help you do better? And if you want us to keep making videos like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an update. And remember, the sponsorship proposal does not make the sale. You do. Good luck out there.